my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Man Cave. The old scar's getting a little less. It's the old scar. Can't even point to it. The old scar is getting a little less. The one between the eyes is lightening up a little bit too. Anyway, it's getting better. I am holding in my hand, I should know by now, but I don't. It's either a 41 or a 42. And Bert can put it in the comments which it is again. He's told me several times, and I forget every time. But anyway, it is, people hate it when I say, it was perfect. What I did was perfect. They get on me in the comments and just say, perfect. You always say it's perfect. Well, this turned out perfect. Whether you like it or not, it turned out perfect. You couldn't get it to be any better. It's got a brand new bridge. Look at that bridge. Does that look homemade? No. Well, it is homemade. It's, just a standard just piece of wood that I started whittling on. And we've got the long saddle in it, just like it had in it originally. The neck angle has been set properly. Get it in the camera here. And the neck angle is just really nice. The action is really nice. You can't get it any better. It's as good as it needs to be. So therefore, in my book, that's perfect. Whether you think it's perfect or not. When I look in the mirror, I see that old man there. He doesn't look like me. He's got too much gray hair. Then my mind drifts back to 1963, when my brother and I built our first house up in those sassafras trees. Then I look in the mirror and I see that old man there. He doesn't look like me, and he seems too unaware. Now I'm back in 1983. We got a new house now, and our family is complete. And then I look in that mirror, I see that old man there. He doesn't look like me. It's almost too much to bear. Now I'm back in the present day. You've got gray in your hair. Well, I guess time has made it that way. And then I look in that mirror. It slowly dawns on me that I've had a good life as God meant it to be. I'm going to get rid of that mirror. This is what you call perfect, whether you like it or not. And, the other thing about it, look close. Look close. Can you tell the bridge was ever off of it? Can you tell the neck was off of it? No, you can't. It's because it's perfect. I love it when people get on me about stuff. You can tell it really affects me. Anyway, the title of this video is No Good Deed Goes Unpunished. Well, I had plenty of punishment on that good deed there. There's no doubt there was plenty of punishment. And when you get to see the video, you're going to find out there was a lot more to it than just a loose neck and a bridge replacement. The reason the bridge had to be replaced was because somebody had whittled on it and carved grooves down through the middle of it. It was just a mess. It was literally just a mess. It looked like Bob had been working on it. Anyway, So I took the bridge off, made a new bridge, put it back on there and I tried to make it look just as close to the original as possible. And, I reset the neck. Well, I thought that was all there was going to be to it. Not so much. When I, started looking at cleaning up the peg head, before I started putting the strings on it. Well, I noticed whenever you turn the tuning keys, I didn't notice this before, but all 6 ferrules were rust welded to the post. All 6 of them. I mean, completely rust welded to the post. And so when you would turn the tuning key, the whole thing would turn. The ferrule, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, the ferrule is that silver thing that's around the post. The post goes up through that silver thing, and that silver thing is supposed to stay still. That's the ferrule. And the post on the middle is supposed to turn. Well, it was all turning on all 6 of them. And so then I started taking the screws out. Well, guess what? Every one of the screws were rusted completely. One of them was rusted to a pin. It was just like a little pin. There was no threads at all. Most of them were so rusted you couldn't tell what the threads were. And anyway, I got all those out. Well, the holes were wallowed out gigantic. I put 3 to 5 toothpicks in every hole. And so, I had to fix all that. Then I had to take all those I had to actually physically knock the posts down through the ferrules to get them out. And then the ferrule holes were so wallered out from those things spinning all those years that they wouldn't stay in there. Well, fortunately, I had some new ferrules that matched them exactly. They looked exactly the same. But fortunately, the shank on the new ferrules was about an 1/8 inch longer than the shank on the old ferrules. So I could re-drill the hole down a little deeper, stick the new ferrule in there, and it went in perfectly tight. And so all that, it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. And finally, I got it all straightened out. It took me an extra morning that, I had planned to get it done on the 4th morning. Well, it took till the 5th morning to get it done. But anyway, we got that fixed, and it's perfect. Today, here's the part about no good deed goes unpunished, okay? So let's get into it for sure. I mean, that was part of it, but there's more. I was going to send this fellow from Brazil. He just wanted a souvenir. Basically, he watches all the videos and everything, and he just wanted a souvenir. So I said, "Sure, I'll send it to you." So he wanted one of my labels that I put in the guitar. And he wanted me to sign it, and so I did all that. So I put it. I was originally just going to send it in a regular, business envelope, but then I thought, well, he's a nice fellow. He's a fan, and etc. Why not make it a little better, And so I thought, I'll put one of these in there too. Well, this is really thin, really light. And I thought, I'll just put it in this padded envelope with the label, ship it to him, right? Well, this was going to be $65 to ship it to Brazil. Well, I'm a nice guy, but I don't know if I'm $65 nice, So this morning, I just put the labels that he asked for in here in a regular envelope like this. I took it to the post office, $1.70. Okay, now you might say, well, this is much bigger. It's much heavier. Okay, let me explain that to you. This weighs, with this included, it weighs 0.8 of an ounce. It's not even an ounce. 0.8 of an ounce. This envelope, empty by itself, is 0.2 of an ounce. Sorry, something ain't right there. That ain't right. I mean, this can go through an automatic feeder. That's why you can't have anything stiff in this, because it goes through those machines that spin, that bends these things around and goes through those snaky looking things, and it puts them where they're supposed to go. So this is totally automated. This has to be manually handled, I suppose, to some degree. I don't think it's very much manual handling on any of this stuff anymore, but because this can't be bent, it can't go through those chutes, $65 compared to $1.70. So, the good, no good deed goes unpunished. I couldn't send this to him. And in addition, I had to make 2 different trips to the post office to get it done. And we're only 20 miles from the post office. So no big deal. No big deal. That's not all. I got more. So then, the auction that I had, only one of the guitars sold. That's a good thing, actually. It's a real good thing. It's good that I was testing the water, just to kind of just try it out. Because when back 2 years ago when I was shipping instruments all over the country and even the world, I could have shipped the guitar like that one there in a box to pretty much almost anywhere in the lower 48 for under $100, for under $100. It would have been close to 100 in some places, like up in the state of Washington or maybe in Maine, it might have been $100. But relatively close states. I mean, Michigan's not too terribly far. I mean, it's a good drive, don't get me wrong, but it's not terribly far. Well, I think I could have probably shipped to Michigan back then $85, something like that, for a guitar. Today I shipped that guitar. Now keep in mind, we sold the guitar for $100. $130 to ship that guitar to Michigan. There you go. No problem. No problem. If you do enough volume, you can make up that loss. Anyway, it's bad, man. The shipping has gotten out of hand, in my opinion. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And then, you got to have a box, and if you don't have a box, well, then you got to go buy a box, and it's just out of control. It's just out of control. So I've got to come up. I haven't told Nellie, the widow, about all this yet, so I have to figure out a way to break it to her lightly. I don't know what to do about the whole thing. It's just a big nightmare mess. And then that's not all yet on the good deeds go unpunished. So, I told you while I was in town, I was already in town doing all this post office and shipping at UPS and all that. So I thought, it'd be nice to drop in and surprise my buddy Ron, and I know he likes slushies, or, what we used to call slushies when we were kids. It's like a little frozen, instead of just regular ice, it's just like it's almost like a snow cone, but a little different consistency. Anyway, it comes out of the machine, I didn't know what flavor he liked, so I thought, well, I'll just, so I stop in at the place where I know he gets them. He gets them at this Casey's, gas station. So anyway, I pull in there, and first of all, you got to remember that you're going through town. There's lights everywhere. You're stopping here and there, and there's slow traffic. So that's the first hassle. So, but that's your normal hassle. So you got to put up with that. So I go through multiple intersections. I get to this station, and I go in there, and I'm looking around. I go, I don't see the slushy machine in here. She goes, oh, well, I got it sitting over there. It's broke right now. We have to. Okay, so. I got all this trouble, and the machine's broke. She goes, but the gas station back from the way back in town there, a couple of intersections back, they got it. Okay, so now I got to go back through those stupid intersections, and with all the traffic and everything. And don't get me wrong, Rolla's not huge, but there's still an amazing amount of traffic. It's a college town. So anyway, I'm going back through there, and I get back there, and I get the slushies, I'm a dedicated friend. I'm going to get them for him, He doesn't know I'm coming. See, it's a surprise because he just got back, he just got home yesterday from the hospital. So after doing all that and then going back through the intersections again to get to his house, and he's only a mile or so over the hill from there. So when I get there, he's not home. So I just left it sitting by his front door, and I sent him a text message that he's got a slushie that's going to be really slushy when he gets home. I don't know. No good deed goes unpunished. Period. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't go unpunished. here's a little short video of more punishment. I'm not kidding. It's more punishment. It really is. Take a look. Well, my friends, starting on the 25th, this overpass is closed. So coming from Rolla, we won't be able to get off there and come across this overpass. We will have to go all the way up to Highway J, which is about another 4 or 5 miles, turn around and come back down to get on this side of the highway. But the overpass itself is going to be closed. In fact, there's a sign right there that says it. And they expect that the overpass is going to be closed for like 2 months. So that's going to suck canal water pretty good, because that's really our only way to get anywhere is to get on the highway there. And I mean, we can go a back road, but it ain't pretty. It's about 5 miles of gravel up and goes in the last miles up a real steep hill. And there's several erosion ditches across this gravel road that they don't maintain. I mean, you go bang, bang down through it. You know, you're actually bottoming out a lot of places to get. So that's the only other option we got. So either you just do the extra long detour, or you have fun with the other detour, which is maybe not as long, but it sure beats you up. Anyway, so there you go. More punishment. And I have one more little short video for you for even more punishment. Well, my friends, the finished mower still hasn't been put together, and I'm not even sure I can put it together. As I mentioned, this belt is 114 inches, and the belt that it calls for is 114.75, which, yeah, just ridiculous. But anyway, that's how the belt more or less goes on. And then this big loop of the belt here, this part right here, has to hook onto that right there. Now, that is heavy. I mean, first of all, that gearbox is on it, and that gearbox is crazy heavy. And you have to have the gearbox on there in order to get the pulley on there. They're all one, it's one shaft. And turning that over, trying to get it in between all this mess and get that belt on it. And you can't reach under this afterwards to get to it. I mean, once you get this flipped over, there's just that much room between the sides. You can't even hardly get your hand in there. So you can't get all the way back in there and get the belt around it. Plus, I don't even know if I can get the belt between here and there. Whoever designed this, I have no idea how you're supposed to put a belt on this thing. I didn't get to work on it over the weekend, but I just thought I'd show it to you just so you know what I'm up against. It is going to be a pain in the neck. It ain't simple, I can tell you that, especially as heavy as it is. It probably weighs 60, 70 pounds, if not more than that. And you try to balance it and get all that wrapped around there and then get the bolts lined up. It ain't going to be simple. Anyway, let's go to the comments and see what's going on. Eddie Turner says, good afternoon. Ronald Todd says, good afternoon from the West Banks of New Jersey. David Tharp says, howdy y'all. What if every country had ninjas and we only know about Japan's ninjas because they were actually bad at being ninjas? Now I got to think about that. Let's see. Dottie, she's praying for us. Thank you, Dottie. She's not going to be with us for a couple of days. Well, praying for you too there, kid. Hope you do well. Hope everything goes good for you. Bill Rhodes, sorry, I forgot my question marks. Okay. He says, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing fine. Okay. David Tharp, yesterday I spotted an albino Dalmatian. It was the least I could do for him. Okay. I'll just think on that one a while. See, Bill Rhodes. Hey, Jerry, could you do that song by Stephen Wood, Thank God I'm Free? Stephen Wood, Thank God I'm Free. I'll look it up and see. Can't recall that one offhand. Steve Wood is very good. I got to finally see some of his videos. His wife is an excellent singer too. I mean, she's really good. But of course, he's a really good singer too. Bill Webb, good afternoon. All right, let's see. After we went live, Ronald Todd was there. Let's see. Dottie. A lot of just conversations going back and forth. Bill Rhodes. Jerry, is that an auction guitar? No, this is the guitar that belongs to Bert. Now I can't think of his last name. I know it, but I can't think of it. Terrible. Pichon, I think it is. Very close, if that's not it. I just get so screwed up on names. I can't help it. Now this, I picked this up down in Mountain View when I was down there. So Bert, was showing it to me, and I could tell he really wanted it fixed. And so I volunteered. I didn't volunteer the first time he showed it to me. There was several people interested in seeing it, and so he was showing it around a couple times. And then I think it was Saturday night before we, before we finished our jam Saturday night, I volunteered to fix it for him. Peter Labeck says, vlog does not work on my side. I restarted it several times. Well, my goodness, Peter, it's got to be some of that German technology. No, I have no idea. It seems to be working okay here. And then he says, MHN now working. Okay, whatever that means. Ronald Todd, why did the can crusher quit his job? Because it was so depressing. I did get that one. That's pretty good. Actually, that's pretty good. That's a real good dad joke. Let's see. Jay Vaughn, thoughts and prayers for Matt Hottie of River City Playboys Band and Strong's Garage in Alberta. Okay. Not familiar with any of that. In my prayers for your op tomorrow, Dottie, I need 2 cataract surgeries next. Does it ever stop? Wow. Well, I feel for all of you. And, my buddy Ron, he had that stone taken out that was size of an orange out of his bladder. So that's what he's recovering from. Let's see. Gino Hitch. Hi, Jerry and friends. Hot as blue blast here in Monroe, Ohio. It won't let me spell blazes as in hot, still working on the bathroom. Okay, cool. Peter Labeck, it gave again. I'm gone again. See it tomorrow. He must be having trouble. Let's see. I saw J.B. Morgan's comment there. You complain more than any female I've ever met. Well, you know what, J.B., if you do something, if you do as much as I do, maybe you'd complain a little bit too. I don't know. Was I complaining or was I explaining all the hassles you run through? I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. What I would ask is, why are you here? Bill Webb, I will not only buy that Harmony Sovereign guitar from you, but I will come and get it and spend the night at the small apartment if it's available. Well, I'll have to check on that and see what kind of a price we can agree on. I can't. They're not mine, and I hate to just sell them at giveaway prices. It's a nice guitar, though. So I don't know. We'll just have to look and see if you can make me an offer, I guess, Bill. Just send me an email of what you're interested in paying for it. And I think what I was planning to do next would be to, I don't know. I was thinking of doing it in lots and maybe just making a short video of, say, 5 of them and go, here's lot 1, instruments 1 through 5. If you're interested in buying these, send me an email, bid on what you would like to pay for it. And if it looks like it's a reasonable offer, of course, you'd have to cover shipping too, because the shipping is just ridiculous. Anyway, it's crazy. So I don't know. We'll have to just see how we can do it. I'm not trying to sell them all at their very highest level. I just want to get a reasonable price for them, whatever that is. Let's see. I've lost my place. Gary Hayes, Jerry, could you call some smaller music stores that would buy several instruments at a good deal? Maybe. We don't have a lot here, and, if at least this is my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but I think small businesses have enough trouble staying in business with what they're dealing with as it is. I doubt they're going to have a whole lot of money to spend on 40 different instruments, and we've only got one store in the area. I just doubt they'd want to deal with it, to be honest with you. That's just an opinion. I could stop by and ask them, though. Next time I'm in town, I might just do that. David Tharp, I always say mucho around my Spanish friends. It means a lot to them. Means a lot. There you go. Ronald Todd, Jerry, I think you'll figure out the Finish More issue. Yeah, I'm sure I will. Fortunately I have that crane thing that I can kind of suspend it on. That'll help. But see, what I know is going to happen is that believe it or not, you might say, well, 3/4 of an inch isn't nothing. It is, and when it comes to belts, they don't stretch, and especially big 5/8 inch belts like that one. And it just, it'd be just my luck. I'll go through all that hassle and maybe just get it right where I want it and get everything lined up perfect, and it won't go on, Which, anyway, it's just is what it is. We just have to figure it out. But thanks for the vote of confidence anyway, Ronald, because I feel fairly sure I'll figure it out. It's a major hassle, I can tell you that. I've never seen anything made like that. It just doesn't make sense, really. The way they made it, it's like the hardest possible way to design it I can think of. I can't think of any way to make it harder than that. Sidecar Bob, things are going okay here. I've been making progress toward making the basement shop usable so I can use it while I work on the rest of the basement. Cool. Yeah, it'll be nice to have a good shop, that's for sure. Bill Mumbo, I've had problems too, Jerry. Restarted twice. Well, that's funny. Don't know. I don't have any way to control what's going on there at YouTube land. John Cunningham, was that hydrilla in your pond? We have trouble with it down here. Sue called it something, but that doesn't ring a bell, so I don't think that was it, but it might have been, I don't know. It's a stringy, it's not slimy green soft stuff like this is like, trying to think of something that would be consistent to it. Like that wood Excelsior wooden fiber, like that little that they bale into bales. Sometimes it's wood fiber. It's kind of like that, except it's not quite that stiff, but almost that stiff. That's what it kind of feels like. I've never seen any of the water stuff that wasn't slimy. This stuff is not slimy at all. Cotton Club, takes me 15 minutes to walk to the local pub. Takes me 45 minutes to walk back home. The difference is staggering. That's funny. That is funny. I didn't see any question marks on that one, but I don't know why I read it, but I did, and I'm glad I did. It's funny. Paul Akers, would it be cheaper to send guitars through U.S. Postal Service? Well, U.S. Postal Service is the one that was going to charge $65 to send this. Now, 2 years ago, I shipped a lot of guitars for $65. I can't picture that. I can't picture it. $65 for less than an ounce. It's not even an ounce. Call that complaining if you want to, because I'm complaining. That's ridiculous is what that is. Jay Vaughn, Matt, Hot has been a picker, a fiddler, and mandolist in the Calgary area since he was a teenager and was in a bad wreck, stable, but needing pelvic reconstruction. Wow, that sounds terrible. Tom Armstrong, difference between bleached and unbleached guitar saddle, just cosmetic. Well, the truth is, I don't know anything about that. That's the truth. I guess the store-bought stuff is bleached. I don't know. I've never bleached anything, so I don't know. I guess it is just cosmetic, but I don't have any idea. I would think it's just cosmetic, but I really don't know. Bill Webb, I understand Jerry not asking for a freebie. No, I wasn't accusing you of that either, Bill. I just don't know how to price them when we just sell them outright like this, versus the auction. They just whatever they bring. So just shoot me an email with an offer, and if it looks reasonable, it's yours. Brad Tomatek, I had cataract surgery about 10 years ago, and with great results. No more feeling around for my glasses. Cool. Yeah, well, that cataract surgery, I've had a number of friends tell me that it's life-changing. It's huge. It's just huge. Some of them said couldn't believe they waited so long, Wavy Gravy, Jerry, do you ever do a Homer and Jethro tune with your group? Jethro was a real mandolin monster. Yeah, I never followed them. I've heard a little bit of their music. I just never did follow them. I don't know that much about them. There's a good chance we do a tune that way, but of theirs. But if we do, I don't know it. It wouldn't surprise me we don't do some of their stuff. Gary would be probably more likely to know if we do a Homer and Jethro tune. See, I never did follow a whole lot of that kind of stuff. Like whose tune is it and all that kind of thing. When I hear a tune, I like it, I would just do it. David Tharp, maybe put the belt on the big wheel first. Well, yeah, I guess, but then how do you get it on all the little wheels? Because it's going to be under that cover, and I don't see how you can do that. It's really a tough design. Most of the time when you have belts like that, you can take the cover off and get to the belts. That's the way it's kind of sitting there right now. But as soon as you put that big heavy thing over the top and try to put that belt on, what do you do? I don't know. I'll figure something out. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. But there may be a trick to it that I just haven't seen through yet. Sometimes that's what happens. You finally figure out the trick to it, And I'm sure there probably is a trick to it, but I don't know what it is. Never seen one designed like this. Sidecar Bob, I wonder if your buddies at the acoustic shop would be interested in some of those instruments. I kind of doubt it. I mean, again, they just got so many instruments themselves, and I don't know. I just doubt they'd want to fool with it, to be honest with you. But they might. I don't know. It won't hurt to ask them, I guess. To me, I don't know. I feel funny imposing on people, asking them to do stuff or favors like that, I don't know. I've just never been a person that I never have asked anybody for any favors if I can avoid it. I mean, there's been a time or two in my life where I've had to do that, but it's pretty rare because I just I don't know. I just never did feel like I should ask favors of people. That's just me. Maybe the tension pulley can be made to adjust. Well, yeah, that spring on that pulley is really stout. And you may have just raised a good idea there that I maybe think that maybe I should get some kind of a ratchet strap or something and pull the tension off of that thing so that the belt would have more room. Maybe I could hold that springy idler pulley. Maybe I could hold it way over so that it would take all the tension off of it. That's a good idea. I never thought of that till you said that. Wavy gravy, Jerry, after you get the belt back on the tractor, you might need a belt of Jack Daniels. Yeah. Well, except I just don't drink, But yeah, figuratively, I might. Let's see. Bill Rhodes, perhaps I'm just lucky, Jerry. I don't have that problem, and I do a lot of good deeds. I don't know. It just seems that way to me. Like whenever you start out to do something as a favor for somebody, you usually end up paying for it 2 or 3 different times over. At least I do. Seems like it to me. My favorite Homer, and David Tharp says, my favorite Homer and Jethro tune was When There's Tears in the Eyes of a Potato, That's When I'll Be Crying for You. There you go. Well, I bet that was a number one. Let's see. Bill Rhodes says, Jerry, that looks like a job for a younger guy. Well, younger guy wouldn't know how to figure it out. Bill Rhodes, Jerry, that looks like, okay. Scott Roberts, Homer and Jethro have always been my favorite parody writers, performers. Those guys were geniuses. Yeah, I've heard a little bit of their stuff, but only a little bit, to be truthful. And I didn't dislike any of it. I thought it was great, I know they did a lot of comedy stuff. I'm trying to think, was it Homer and Jethro that my uncle knew? Kind of think so. Kind of think he knew them. It's either them or there might have been another comedy team. I'm getting them confused with. I think it was Homer and Jethro. But he never introduced me to them, at least not that I can remember. He had a comedy team down at his festival in Grassy, and I don't know if it was Homer and Jethro or not. I kind of think it was, but I don't remember. Let's see. Sidecar Bob, the stores are in business to buy and sell instruments. Offering some of the instruments to them could be doing them a favor. Well, that's possible. It's possible. I don't think at least it's been my experience, that they're not real fond of taking on a whole lot of used instruments, I don't think, but maybe I'm wrong. Their store down there, it's just stocked full of new instruments. I can't see where they would want to take on a whole bunch of used ones, especially on a commission type basis or, something like that, They might. I could be totally wrong. Okay. So anyway, at least you guys gave me something to think about. I'll think about it and see if there's other options. But right now, I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to put out little short videos and show like 4 or 5 instruments in each video and just say, give me your offer via email. Because the whole auction thing is a pain in the neck, number one. And then, I just don't know. I don't know. That way, at least I'll know which instruments people are interested in. If I get 4 or 5 offers for one specific instrument, then I might put that one up on the auction block, where if I only got one offer for it, well, then I'd probably sell it to the one offer, So I don't know. I don't really know how to do it. Wavy gravy. I've got tears in my ears from lying on my back in bed while I'm crying over you. Wow. That's really a sad tune. Sky Roberts. Homer and Jethro were also session musicians. Cool. Well, like I said, I don't know a lot about them. I know who they are. That's about all I know. Y'all have a good one. We will see you tomorrow with something else.